Hello everyone. It is so great to be able to make these videos and share them with all of you, so thank you very much for joining. This is week 45 of writing LitRPG and making a living out of publishing books. I wanted to get an early start on my working week, so I left home at around 10 AM and got back to outlining my new story. In case you've missed the previous videos, let me get you up to speed. My new series is going to be the story of 4 friends who were living pretty normal country lives in an otherwise magical world. These 4 young men became students in a magic university, and we get to see a lot of the actual classes there in an effort to make the magic system transparent for all readers. Last month, I finished outlining the story with pen on paper, and this month I am transferring it to Word while also expanding it. Today, I managed to write a bit over 3,500 words, covering up to page 35 of the handwritten manuscript. This brings me to 53% completion, and I'm happy to say that even though I've written more than 33,000 words, I'm still feeling energetic about it. I was done with writing at around 3 PM, so I headed back home and continued working on some emails that needed my attention. First off, my accountant notified me that they filed the VAT declaration for Q3, so I needed to check the documents and transfer their fee. Next, there were a few tasks connected to the books our beta readers are on that I had to solve. And lastly, and this is probably a task that I'll need to continue doing over the week, I formatted another novel that we will be releasing later this month. I said that I'll continue formatting books over the week because we signed a contract to re-release the romance tetralogy of an Austrian author, and I want to prepare all of the titles before moving forward with our marketing plan. In any case, around 5 PM, I decided I had worked enough for the day, so I headed to the gym and then back home for some gaming and resting. Woke up with so much energy today and eager to get on with writing. I was at the cafe around 10 AM and instantly got into flow, hitting sprint after sprint online with some other friends. Today we were doing 20-minute sprints, meaning we were writing for 20 minutes, then taking a short break and doing it again. Maybe it was the fact that I went to the gym yesterday after 3 weeks of not training due to my injury, or maybe because I slept enough but I was hitting 700 words per sprint. Not only that, but I was able to write more than I usually do before getting tired, as I reached a bit over 4,300 words. I also expanded the outline up to page 38, reaching 58% completion of this stage. At this point, I have a bit less than 39,000 words written, which is in line with 1,000 words per 100 page ratio I usually work on. I have to say, today was a very enjoyable day for writing, and after going home for lunch, I took a long walk with Poco. I spent the remainder of my day making sure my email inbox was empty, which wasn't that hard today, and then formatted one more book from the romance tetralogy we will soon be releasing. Once that was taken care of, I was practically done for the day, even though it wasn't even 5 PM yet. I used to get a bit restless whenever my work day ended this early and would start doing low significance tasks just to kill time, but I've come to understand that this hurts me more than it benefits me. We get so used to working that we feel guilty when we aren't working and often take pride in overworking ourselves. But the truth is that continuing to work, or rather do work things even if they're not important, is easier than stopping. So I forced myself to stop and did something else instead. I replaced my laptop battery with a replacement that I ordered because it wouldn't run for longer than 90 minutes, and then just played some Nintendo Switch. If I have the same energy levels tomorrow, I think I'll be doing the exact same things. It is Wednesday and I was up and about at 8 AM. I wanted to get an early start to the day because it's going to be a busy one. Luckily, I had very little admin to do today, so I was able to start writing as soon as I got to the cafe around 8:30. For better or for worse, I had a long call in the middle of my writing, and that threw me off quite a bit. However, I did manage to write over 3,000 words and take care of 41.5 pages of the handwritten outline. This means I'm 63% into this stage and will hopefully cross the 70% mark by the end of this week. In total, I've written almost 41,000 words, which is in line with my projections. I was back home around 1 PM, then went to the gym, back home for lunch, a shower, and off for my weekly D&D session. We used to do these nights on Fridays, but lately decided that since Friday is the beginning of the weekend, meetings can be problematic. After all, I don't need to wake up at 7 AM on Thursdays, so it works for me. I do hope I can wake up at 9 AM however, because that's when the cleaner's coming and when I hope to take Poco to the cafe and continue writing. Alright, this was a short one, but I'm sure tomorrow is going to be more eventful. I arrived home around midnight yesterday after D&D, so I wasn't sure how Thursday would go. I did manage to wake up around 8:30, got ready and headed to the cafe with Poco. In general, I try not to disturb him too much early in the morning, but since the cleaner is coming in today, he'd be disturbed anyway. He was quite willing to get out of the house though, so we were working before 9:30. Or at least I was, because he hasn't worked a single day in his life. Today is LitRPG release day and I had to prepare some promotional posts for the clan, D-Russ's second book in his Play to Live series. Since the original series was first published almost a decade ago, the covers needed a refresher, so we had new ones made. I have to say, I think this one is my favorite cover of them all. Having done my best to make sure all of our followers were notified about this release, I switched to outlining again. Even though I didn't quite hit the same levels I did on Tuesday, that was probably because I had too many distractions. Poco tends to get quite aggravated whenever dogs come near, so I had to stop writing a few times. However, I was able to write for a good 3.5 hours, putting down almost 4,000 words. This brought me very close to 70% completion as I took care of 45.5 of the handwritten pages of the outline. More importantly, at least in my eyes, I am still feeling the story and like how valleys and peaks come as far as its tempo goes. Also, we almost reached 45,000 words in the extended outline for what will probably be my largest story yet. After wrapping up writing, I replied to a couple of emails from 2 prospective narrators that reached out to me and shut down the lab. I could continue formatting our romance releases, but that is a task best carried out with a video playing in the background. So instead, I will wait until tomorrow when I'll be able to watch the new Critical Role episode on Twitch. I think I'll spend the rest of my day catching up with my to-be played list on my Nintendo Switch. Last day of the work week and we're off to a good start, heading to the cafe at around 10 AM. No emails, no admin, no distractions. I started writing almost as soon as I arrived. But before I move to what I managed to do today and an overview for the week, I thought I'd share something that I was thinking of this week. Before sharing that though, let me ask you to leave a like and maybe subscribe to this channel. The channel is growing and I'm happy to make these videos, so thank you for that, and if you're new here, welcome. Anyway, back to what I was thinking. This week we played D&D on Wednesday instead of Friday, so through that session I kept thinking that the next day would be Thursday and not Saturday. Well, nothing special about that except the fact that I was quite happy about it. Specifically, I was happy because I'd get to work 2 more days, and it really dawned on me that I was happy with my job. I know we often say that writing is a great thing to do, but it's not always like that, and I'm happy to see that this story really makes me happy. So regardless of sales and how lengthy the process is, I think that as long as I wake up eager to go to work, I should be fine. Alright, enough of this tangent. What did we manage today? I was able to write 3.4 thousand words, reaching a total of over 48,000 words. Having completed 48 of the handwritten pages, I'm over 73% completion of the expanded outline. Seeing how I usually do 3 to 3.5 pages every day, I just might be able to finish next week. In any case, I contacted my editor and he will already start his developmental edits on this large outline, so hopefully I won't have to stop writing even if I finish next week. This means that I managed to write more than 18,000 words this week. Nothing crazy really, but not bad either. And that's the goal for this series. Not going crazy with it, but rather keep on keeping on. And with that in mind, I spent the rest of my workday watching the new Critical Role episode on one screen while I formatted 2 of our upcoming releases on another. Later on, I will be going out for some Mexican and then meeting some friends for drinks. So that was another week in the life of an author/publisher. Thank you all for joining and I hope to see you next Saturday. Okay, bye!